Okay, so thank you very much for coming to our launch event, and my presentation then I'm going to just go through a few different things. So I'm going to just start off with some stats, just to put in context, where these youth hubs are coming from, so why we still need to support our young people. I'm going to go through very quickly a few results from our survey that we've done with young people, just to find out from them what it is they would like from a hub. It's really important to hear from them themselves. Then I'm going to go through our hub, what it's about, where those locations are, so what our venues are, and how we're going to work collaboratively and track data to achieve our successful outcomes. And then I'm just going to mention about our project steering committee as well, as I'm hoping some of you would like to be members of that. Okay, so here's a nice graph to start us off then. So this is just showing youth unemployment for 18 to 24-year-olds, obviously for quite a while now. You can see the trends during the recession. And worryingly, obviously, during the pandemic last year, there was a huge increase in the rate of youth unemployment. And in fact, it rose from, I think, like March 2020 to May 2020, it more than doubled. So there was a really worrying trend there that the unemployment in this particular age group was hit the hardest. And obviously there's been a lot of initiatives put into place. The government plan for jobs has really helped to reduce that, so it's coming back down now. And we're pretty much back to pre-pandemic levels, but it's not, we're not out of the woods yet. There's still a lot that needs to be done. So here's a few stats for you. So this age group, as I mentioned, they've been hit particularly badly, and in fact, there's still 99,000 people in the country have been unemployed in that age range for over 12 months now, so pretty worrying. And despite the fact that the unemployment rates have come down, the number of claimants is really high. Obviously, partly that's due to the support that's been put in place. But in July this year, 136,600 more people were claiming than in March 2020 last year. And although the rate of unemployment has come down, the rate of employment has not quite recovered, so we're still below where we'd like to be. And obviously, bearing in mind this age group, they're inexperienced and maybe haven't got the same level of experience as others who've been in the workplace already. They really do need a lot more support, which is where one of the things that we can provide in terms of youth hubs is going to come in really handy, hopefully for them. Okay, so bearing that in mind, what would they want from a youth hub? So we did ask quite a few questions. I've just pulled a couple of examples out. So what do you think it should provide? Well, obviously they want a place where there's going to be support for employment initiatives, but it's not just about that, is it? So they would like support in terms of well-being, emotional support as well. So it's not just about helping them to find a job. And obviously it's not just a case of nationally what career pathways might you want to go into, but locally as well. What would you like? What's available locally? So how would you prefer to access the hub? So that's quite a relevant question for us as well. And in fact, it's really apparent most of them do want face-to-face contact. And I know these days it's quite unusual to have a lot of you all in a room together. It's really nice to be able to do that again, but that's what they want, is a face-to-face contact with an employment support advisor or a work coach. But as well as that, there's quite a large majority who are very keen to have an online platform or some way of accessing information themselves at home. So both of those came out really strong there. So our hub is going to have both face-to-face interaction and an online platform. So I'm just going to run through what the hub includes, and I'll go in a bit more detail shortly. So just a bit of background, it is funded by the DWP's Flexible Support Fund. What's unique about our hub is that we are in partnership with 4 local authorities. So I think most of you in this room are aware of that. So Eastleigh, we're the lead accountable body, but it's also Winchester, New Forest and Test Valley. We're all working together in partnership. So we're really spread out across quite a wide range. So we're working with young people between ages 16 to 24 within that geographical area. And the hubs, the idea is they're meant to be accessible to youth, friendly locations, places where they want to go and they're going to be comfortable talking to us. We want to provide them with a clear support journey, and it's meant to be a holistic approach. So we want to give them a lot of support with lots of different aspects. We want to try and coordinate a wraparound specialist support, and that's going to be really key through partnership working. So a lot of you in this room, we're going to be able to make links and obviously refer to yourselves, and you can refer back to us and form those links, get you into our hub, so we can actually achieve the best that we can for these young people. This includes building up relationships with local employers too. I mentioned our online platform, so that's going to be really key to the success of this project. And also obviously evaluating and measuring our progress to make sure that we are meeting those outcomes, so those young people are being supported in the way that we are aiming for. Eastleigh, we're based in Eastleigh Cable Works building, and we're also going to have a hub here at the Point in January. This is a map of deprivation. So the other areas, so New Forest, we're aiming to have, we've got a hub at Totton and Brockenhurst colleges. So where possible, we're trying to aim for either an area of deprivation or an area that's easy to get to, for example. Test Valley, we have got a hub at the Lights in Andover, and we've got one at the Freedom Centre in Romsey. And Winchester, we have one at Carroll Centre in Stanmore and Unit 12 in Wynne. So those are the locations of our hubs within our main hub. That makes sense? Okay, so as I mentioned, we're looking to try and house these hubs in either deprived areas where those young people that we're trying to support live already, so they can get to us quite easily. So it's local to them, or they've got good transport links. What's really key as well is that there's some sort of provision going on already. So a lot of these venues, they're already doing some really good work with some of the age groups that we're working with. And that really gives us that opportunity for partnership working, so we can work with those already, what's going on already in the venues, and also bring in some other stakeholders in terms of more collaborative working. So that kind of brings me to this point. So we want a wraparound service for these young people. So it's a case of, we're not wanting to duplicate the good work that you guys are already doing. A lot of you provide, really good services for young people. So it's about working together, collaboratively, and obviously trying to work in terms of bringing you to our hub if possible, or referring our young people to you. We're also going to be placing our employment support officers in the venues. So I don't know, guys, if I can't see where you've all gone. Do you mind standing up quickly, employment support officers? Thanks. So these are the guys that are going to be based in the venues, thank you, alongside our DWP work coaches as well. So we've got good partnership going on there with the DWP, where the young people will be referred from the job centres, but also we're looking to support other young people from other routes as well. So if you've got any young people you'd like to refer to our hub, then obviously get in touch with us. And that obviously we're working together with the local stakeholders to achieve that wraparound service. I just wanted to mention as well, so I'm going to turn it over. So we're wanting to come up with individualised inter-work action plans. So each youngster has got a personalised approach, so we're tailoring our support to their needs, to what their barriers are, and coming up with a plan that is supporting them. And to do this, we've got a database as well to help us in terms of tracking their individual data, but really so we can inform that action plan. Hopefully this is going to work. I've got it on the extended screen. Let's check. So it's just a quick snapshot. I'm not going to go into loads of detail, but basically you can see, if I type in a reference number for a youngster, just an example, we can bring up their data, so we can see, it'll bring up the profile. So that chart at the top there, we're going to give them a questionnaire to kind of assess where they're at when they start with us. Don't know how easy I can move across now. There's other graphs and things which I can't easily show you because I'm on a different screen. We're going to use that database to inform the young person's journey, so we can actually plan and tailor our support to what their needs are, what their gaps are, and obviously by tracking that data we can do that really effectively. But as well as that, it means we can evaluate the project as well, so we can actually assess how well we've achieved the outcomes that we're trying to do. As well as using our database, we've got the online platform as well. So there's going to be a lot of analytics in there, so we can actually track how many people have accessed that, and there's going to be a lot of data that you guys can give us on what they've clicked on, what parts they're actually accessing, which bits are the most useful to them. And I'll let Adam tell you a bit more about that later. Okay, so just to finish up then, so project steering committee. So that's going to consist of members from the DWP and all the different councils, as well as local stakeholders. So we'd like to get as many of you guys involved as possible. So let me know if you're interested. So we're going to meet quarterly, and the idea is to monitor the progress and performance of the project. We want to make sure that the project is being delivered in line with obviously the conditions for the funds, and make sure that we're reviewing data so that we are achieving high quality employment support for young people coming through our hub. And obviously you've got our contact details anyway, but if anybody is interested in becoming a member of our project steering committee, we are looking for more members, so please do get in touch afterwards if you would like to help steer where this project is going. I'm going to end there, and I'll pass on shortly over to Andrew from DWP. Thank you.